And we are on day 87 of Road to a Million. I got a new shirt today, you guys. I like it. I don't know if you know who this is at all or not. There's a, it was a very good anime, I would say. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I was like, I gotta get this because it's like Baki Hanuman, the champion. Because we're all champions in here. We're all champions in here. I wanted to start out today by just letting you know that I ended up listening to this coaching call, go into like a coaching session, and it was quite interesting to say the least, because they were talking about how you get coaching clients, and it's cool being able to see how people do this and understand the systems that they use to be able to close the clients and get the clientele on board, and knowing their knowing the process and understanding how they do this. It's like, that's actually quite impressive, because the guy that I was listening to today that I had like the one-on-one sales call pitch for, I was like, I knew exactly how they were going to do it. And it's funny because he's like, oh, let me just send over some more testimonials. And I get the testimonials. It makes sense. You want to use testimonials because that's how you build. It's like, well, look, the results speak for themselves. Like, look at all these other people that we've helped. And I understand that. And that's why it's like, I can see why people would pay the $9,000 because they have all the proven tests and the results, because they think that it's going to be the solution. They believe that it's going to be the solution that solves all their problems. It's like, oh, I'm going to pay $9,000 and then I'm going to have all these coaching clients because all these other people have all these coaching clients. And it's like, yes, you will, if you put in the work. If you don't do the work, then you're not going to have the clients. So you can pay an outrageous amount, and I wouldn't even consider that an outrageous amount of money. That's not that much money. It may be to some people. You can pay the $9,000, the $10,000 to get the coach, to get the done-for-you system, to have the one-on-one coaching, and I think you should. I think you should. The thing that I know you should do instead is do the work. You do the work, you can get it to happen. Like, you can make it work. Because for me personally, I've been good at keeping myself accountable when it comes down to going to the gym, when it comes down to riding my bike. Like, the biking, dude, the biking wasn't even something that anybody else asked me to do. That was just something that I decided to do. The running that I've been doing, I don't have other people to run with me. I've been trying to get some other people to run with me. That was never something that I was like, oh, hey, you want to come run with me? It's like, I've never. And then the meditation, like, that was something that I kept myself accountable. The books, that was something that I kept myself accountable for. Like the meditation, the reading, the books, the walks, the hikes, the journaling, these videos right here, I've been able to keep myself accountable. Not everybody is like me. Not everybody does the things that I do, and I'm trying to understand that, because I was talking to this kid in the sauna today, and I asked him, I was like, what makes you stop scrolling? And then he thought about it, and he's like, it's the text on the screen. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then the 10X stage that I was talking about on day 55 that I went to, I ran into people, and I think I said this, where she spent like $150,000 on courses, and she hasn't made any money from it because she has a trust, and that was her way of doing it. Some people, they value different things. They might not necessarily expect to make money. They might not expect to get clients. They might just be there for the information. Everybody's going to have a different perspective. Because even the guy that I was talking to in the sauna today, he was talking about how he does his own business, and I was like, how he got into self-development and personal growth because of mentors. And then I was like, I know this now. I've figured it out. And I'm going to continually keep figuring it out. I asked him, I was like, okay, is it a couple? And he's like, yeah, it's midway or something like that, I think was what he called it. And I was like, okay. So I was trying to be like, well, dude, do you want to be on my podcast? Do you want to chat with me? Like, and we can do some marketing for you. Like, it's free marketing materials. Like, well, we only do one-to-one. We don't ever do like anything big mainstream because that just doesn't work. And I was like, okay, that's fair. That wasn't what he was needing at that specific time. Each and every person that we talk with has different needs and values. And I started to drill down and ask him questions. And I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to help people achieve their goals and chase after the things that they want to. and I could slow down for this, but I'm not going to help people chase their dreams, to help them fulfill the lives that they want to have their own brand, their own product, their own service, their own, something that they can call their own. And I found out that the husband wasn't the person that wanted something to call his own. He's like, well, my wife did just quit her job to do dog sitting full time. And I was like, what if I talk to her instead? We can have a conversation with her. She can use the information or the conversation that we have for marketing materials, so that then she, in turn, can also grow her client base, because it's a more genuine one-on-one conversation that we're having. And that got me thinking. I was like, well, if that's the case, there might be something to this. There might be something to this. And I think there is something to this. I truly, genuinely do believe that there is something to this. It's a matter of finding what the needs are of the other person. And that was the part where I believe the sales guy failed today with the conversation that he was having with me. Because if he would have pitched it a bit better, I still wouldn't have bought. But it didn't seem like he was into it. And that's why I asked him. I was like, well, what do you do? What do you do with Xander, I think was what his name was. And he's like, oh, well, I'm just doing like this role right here. And I kind of wanted to ask him. I was like, well, if they're talking about how easy it is to make 6K or 9K a month, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you yourself doing that? And that's what kind of got me thinking. It's like, not everybody has the vision, not everybody has the goal of doing the big things, such as myself or other people that we see. Everybody has different goals, and maybe the guy that was talking with me, his main focus was just to be able to have just the right amount of income to be able to make his wife happy. And I was like, okay, hey, that's fine. That works. If that's what you want to do, that works for you. For me personally, it's like I'd rather have more than I know what to do with, because then there's never a worry. There's never a fear. And that's what I found out from doing sales and ways to become a more successful salesperson is, yes, you do want to ask questions. You also want to have a clear intention. And the guys, I could tell, and maybe he could tell as well too, that I wasn't going to buy. It's just the questions that he was asking, maybe they work for some people. I don't know, man. Because one of the questions that he asked, it was very informal. And I get the reason why they do that is because most people can't have a conversation or understand how to just talk to somebody like a normal human being when it comes down to selling. So he's just like, oh, well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. And it's like, oh, okay. From what I've been able to glean from my own personal experiences and from other people that I've listened to, is the best salespeople tell stories. They tell stories. They bring you into their world. They bring you into the place that they themselves have been. And by doing so, it creates that image. It creates that same feeling that somebody had at that time. And that's the thing that I'm working on putting together to help others realize that exact same thing. Because if you can put together and tell the right story, a personal experience, and this is why I think it's very important to be able to get out into the world and talk with people and have different experiences, because you can draw upon that knowledge when you are in a situation. And that's why I've always found it valuable to have knowledge that maybe might not be applicable at the time, because then I can draw upon that knowledge when the time is right. And that's why I like to consume lots and talk with lots of people and have different conversations, because that's just how it is. And it's a matter of, I just had a different thought pop into my head that maybe I'll run with real quick. Just a little side tangent. A lot of women nowadays, I was in the sauna and I was just like, hey, add me on Instagram. And she's like, I have a boyfriend. It's like, okay. And do you think you're that special that I'm trying to ask you out right now? You think that is why I was asking you to add me on add you on Instagram? So I kind of had that as an idea for a video, which I may end up doing that as well. I just like seeing how people do their sales strategies. I like seeing how people do the things that they do because it's fascinating to me. Because the more that I see how Like, clearly this works. Like, the system that they have in place, this game that they've been playing, it works. And it brings them millions and millions of dollars, possibly even billions of dollars. And all the information is out there. And that's what I did. I just used the information. I accumulated the information. I talked with the right people. I asked the right questions. Like, I did the things that made me uncomfortable to help me get to the place that I wanted to get to. And from some of my friends that I've talked with and people at the expo, it's like they would do courses. Maybe they'd follow through. They needed that structure. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, you need the structure. You want to know, like, hey, this is what I do on day 1. This is what I do on day 2. This is what I do on day 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. It's like, okay, I can do that for you. I can give you actionable steps each and every single day to help you get to the place that you want to get to. That is something I can do. Because I have systems that I have created. I have ways of living that have allowed for me to get to the place that I want to get to, that have taught me, they've taught me a lot. They've taught me how to be happy, how to be at peace, how to meditate, how to exercise, how to stay accountable, how to chase, how to be focused, how to do more. And that's something that I'd say pride in, I value. It seems to have served me well. And that's why when I see these webinars, these systems, it's like, okay, they work. So I can get mine to work as well with the information that I have. Like, it's simple. It really is simple. As long as I serve the right people, like, I'm golden. And I think I might have found somebody, like, not even like, I feel like I might have found a group possibly. I might still be bouncing around with that idea. Because some of them, like, I just had to make sure that my target audience has the right amount of people. Or not even people, have the income that I'd be asking to be spending each month. So that's why possibly salespeople, men in sales roles that are wanting to become more confident with women. There might be something there. Because salesmen, like, if I could help them become more confident, and women, then they could increase their numbers, and then that could be a selling tactic as well. I'm going to think about it, because I'm still, like, the main focus is still YouTube and doing YouTube content. Like, that's the main focus. That's the main thing that I'm doing. And I'm doing it so that I can acquire clients. I just like learning too. So yeah, it is a matter of just acquiring clients or ad revenue or ways of getting other people that I can help out one-on-one. It's kind of my thought. Entry level, like free entry level course of some sort, or free entry. I've been trying to do things wrong. Like, I've been doing things wrong for so long. I've been trying to solve problems that I myself didn't solve. And it's like, well, why not just solve the problems that I myself did solve and use the systems and strategies that I used to be able to help me solve those problems for somebody else? Because I was listening to this podcast. I'm going to listen to it after I'm done recording this. Is the more qualified you are, the less that you can say, and the less qualified you are, the more you can say. Weird concept, right? Very, very weird concept. It doesn't make sense, and it probably never will. So strange. That's so strange. Homeboy just did not do the best job. That's okay. He'll improve now. He will. I know he will. I can guarantee that he is right now, because after our conversation, I can just tell you that he's going to be doing 100 times better, because it's going to get him to think a little bit and be like, I didn't really consider that, or okay, maybe I need to change my angle or my pitch or the way that I'm presenting the value, because it was just, I get asking questions. I do. It's just, you got to make it personal. Like, you have to bring in the other person. You have to tell them stories. You have to meet them where they're at. You can't meet them up here, because that's what I always did. I would always meet people up here. And now I'm meeting them down here. Meeting them down here with where they're at, starting with where they are. It's really quite that simple, you guys. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Hope you guys have a good one. subscribe for more content like this, because we're coming up on day 88 is tomorrow. And we got a day 89, day 90, 91, 92, all the way for the rest of the year, you guys. And then the year after that, and after that. And we're just going to keep making these every single day, because why not? I don't see why not. I feel like it's a good way to connect. And as you can tell, like, I'm just on like cloud 9 right now, because I got to pitch somebody, and I got to figure out like what his real need was, because he was so dead set. He was so dead set on, oh yeah, I'm working with this couple. And then I found the thing. I found where I could help him. Everybody needs help. Everybody looks for help. So, just about asking the right questions. Not doing it in necessarily a pushy way, just doing it in a genuine, authentic way, and being a good person while you do it. Love you guys. Chat with you tomorrow.